Hey guys, welcome back to Indy Homestead. This is episode 3 of our Starting a Vegetable Garden series. In previous episodes, we showed you how we converted a piece of our lawn into our vegetable garden plot by using our very own leaves. We also showed you how we built up our raised rows and mulched between those rows using our very own wood chips. And now it's finally time to put up a fence around our garden plot to help keep the critters out. We'll also be building a tomato trellis for our indeterminate tomatoes. We have lots more to share in this vegetable garden series, so we hope you stick around. And let's go ahead and hop into the video. Hi, I'm Brittany.
I'm Chris.
And we are Indy Homestead. Welcome back to our channel. This is part 3, episode 3 of our Starting a Garden series. And today we're jumping into
fencing
around the garden. So the first episode, we basically talked about how we built up the soil, what we did for the last 6 months, adding compost, etc. Last episode, episode 2, we built up the raised rows and mulched the path. And now we're gonna do fencing and some trellising maybe, and get our stuff in the ground.
Cool.
It's been raining all day, so it is kind of wet.
It's been raining all week.
Yeah, it's been raining all week.
But actually, I'm pleasantly surprised about the garden. It didn't flood at all.
So we're gonna use, what, chicken wire?
Yeah, chicken wire, and you bought some 3-foot T-posts that we're gonna put on the 4 corners. And then my dad actually brought over some bamboo that we're gonna use as
Stakes, I guess.
stakes all along, so we don't have to use those metal T-posts the whole garden width, which is good to save on some price. They're sturdy and lightweight and easy to use and cut to size, so you couldn't ask, and they're free. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's get this garden party started.
I'm ready.
Okay. We're starting our vegetable garden fence install at the southwest corner of our garden plot. We purchased 4 3-foot T-posts for the corners, for all 4 corners of the garden, and 2-foot tall chicken wire. It is, not considered necessarily traditional fencing, but it definitely does the job for our purposes. Our property has a fence surrounding the entire perimeter, so this is mainly just to keep rabbits and our dog out. Along the edges between the corner stakes, we are using bamboo stakes. We got these bamboo stakes from Chris's parents. They have pretty much a bamboo forest on their property, so we have access to an unlimited supply of bamboo stakes, and these work perfectly. We've already used this in a flower garden on our property, and our in-laws have also used this for their vegetable garden, so we were pretty excited to be able to use them as well. We are doing our best to make sure that each stake is driven at least a foot into the ground to help maintain the fence and keep it upright. The way that we handled the seam between 2 rolls of chicken wire was to essentially weave our bamboo stake between the 2, going every second to every third hole, and then driving that bamboo stake directly into the ground at least a foot. We didn't do anything special to attach the chicken wire to the 4 corner posts. We just made sure to keep it taut, and as far as attempting to follow a straight line along the edges, we did have a visual guide with the string that we used initially to lay down the garden plot, but mostly we just kind of did our best and tried to look at each corner post, and it wasn't exact, but we felt like we did a pretty good job. This section right here is going to act as our makeshift swinging door, if you will. Essentially, we're just weaving a bamboo stake in at the edge, and we'll be able to kind of swing it open or closed as we wish. In order to make it easier to drive these bamboo stakes into the ground, each stake was cut at an angle to create a sharper edge. This is the final stake, and what I'm doing here is just using wire to attach the chicken wire to the bamboo stake. And then Chris is just cutting the remaining chicken wire that we don't need for this perimeter. So now we're building our indeterminate tomato trellis. We're using 2x4 inch mesh welded wire, 14 gauge. I initially wanted to use cattle panel, but I kind of settled on this because it's just a little bit more economical and we have a ton of uses for this fencing. So what I did, I went ahead and put 5 bamboo stakes on this plot, and I'm going to be adding bamboo stakes in between the 5 that I've already placed in a zigzag type of formation. This is definitely not a perfect science. I'm just kind of eyeballing it to make sure that I'm at least trying to make sure it's equidistant between the 2 bamboo stakes. So now I'm just zigzagging the fencing between the bamboo stakes. This was a lot harder than it looks. It does not move super easily, but it is flexible and you just kind of have to take your time and adjust as you go. And then I'm just using wire to attach the fencing to the bamboo stakes. The zigzag pattern really helped to increase the sturdiness of this trellis. Initially, I had tried to just make it one straight line and I was worried it would topple over, but using a zigzag pattern really helped. This is the final product of our indeterminate tomato trellis, and we think it'll do a good job of standing up to the intense winds that we have out here. The next step will be to begin planting, so we will see you then.
And we are Indy Homestead. Welcome back to our channel. There's a
Jet engine.
Hold on.
Everything is waterlogged, but the garden actually, you know, yeah, you can hear the water down here. Chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
Time's a ticking, babe.
We're on the clock.
We really are. We haven't had any flooding yet, so cool. They're sturdy and lightweight and easy to use and cut to size, so you couldn't ask, and they're free. You couldn't ask for anything better.
And they're from nature.
Right, they're biodegradable.
That's what I meant. I don't know if it's just extra thick.
Yeah.
And I'm scared to stab myself. Here. Okay.
Wave it on the stick.
That's all the supplies we need besides our hard-working bods and...
Come on, manly noises.